Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to see OAuth Token Replay Attack across microservices. The research showcased that an attacker can exploit poorly configured OAuth by traversing into microservices and gain access to internal configuration and services. So let's get started. So this is our target application, microservices topology. It is based on financial based application, but this can be applied to any kind of business wherever microservices are running, and the application should be using OAuth. Now in this you can see that there are multiple microservices. What are exactly microservices? It is basically to handle the load of different kind of functions or controllers based on their use case. So you can split the microservices based on accounting services or transaction services, and they all can run on separate tech stack. You don't need to run on all things on same tech stack, and this is what the advantage is about microservices. But there are also internal services which are running internally and accessible to internal people via routing or via VPN whitelisting, and could be anything. But how do an user interact with these microservices? So let's say a user who is using the application on browser or mobile, making a request, maybe get account API v1 user, and this request first goes to a gateway which is basically called reverse proxy. It could be nginx, it could be any Amazon API gateway, or it could be some custom reverse proxy. The reverse proxy checks all the authorization and also checks that which particular microservice the user is requesting to. So you can see in this case user is requesting to the account service which access the profile data and all. Then it routes the request along with the token to the account service microservice, and there again the authorization is validated. This could be OAuth or SSO or SAML based authentication, and here the request is processed and the user gets the data via again the reverse proxy to the client browser or mobile. So this is whole topology of a fintech based application. Now let's see how an attacker can exploit an OAuth misconfiguration in this kind of schema. So let's see. So now what attacker is trying to do is to simply traversing into the microservices. Attacker knows that based on the username, the reverse proxy is routing the request to account service, and the routing could be done on the basis of endpoint, could be done on the basis of headers, could be done on the basis of body or parameters. But here in this case attacker must have tried so many things, and after getting that this is based on username, it tries to do traversal by doing dot dot slash and slash internal, which means it is going back to directories and then going into the internal. It's like simple directory traversing. Now reverse proxy, who usually should route to account service, but then account service routed it to internal service while executing it, and because of this the internal request is traversed. Now only problem is that how an attacker will authorize into the internal service. Luckily for attacker, the OAuth misconfiguration was exploitable here because the developers were not thoroughly checking whether the request is coming from an external network or it is coming from an internal network. It is just checking that whether it has an OAuth JWT token or not, and it is simply validating that whether this user exists or not, and based on that it is simply responding with 200 OK. And now an external user who does not have access to internal microservices can access with the same OAuth token by just traversing into the microservice. Now let's see this in action in a lab which we have set up to demonstrate this OAuth token replay attack. So this is the lab which we have set up on our domain. You can access it with oauth.lab.securifyai.co. Once you open the lab, you will see welcome screen along with a login button. You will simply click it and you will see that it is redirecting to an internal port 8080 which is running an OAuth login panel. Here you will simply add your email address and password which you have been using as an external user where you have signed up and you are using that portal, right? It's a public portal where you can do sign up and sign in. So that's what a normal user is doing here. So once you sign up, you will see that it is again redirecting back to the main application and you will see your profile section. Now let's see this whole traffic in Burp Suite. So in the Burp Suite, you will see that there is a get API v1 profile test user. Once you analyze this request, you will see that there is an authorization token which is for OAuth SSO, and it has all those identifier to authorize, to give the scope, to give the expiry, and etc. And you will also observe that this particular panel is running on Express.js. Now let's replay this request and try to play this request in the Burp Suite repeater. Let's try to send this request without any authorization token to see what happens. And you will see that it is saying no token provided. So it is validating first the user's authentication token, and then based on that it is processing the request. So right now it is again coming from Express.js, so this means this authorization is being done on Express for the public user. Now you observe that this request is carrying a username in the API endpoint. So this means there could be chance that based on the username, the internal design of this application is routing the request. So let's try to play with this particular username. We'll try to traverse it internally in other services. Still we are getting Express.js and we are getting 404 not found. Let's try a few more. And now we are seeing that Django panel is running. So this means we are successfully able to traverse into microservices, but the problem is that we are not authorized here in Django. Now here normal attacker would think that okay, now I am able to interact with internal services, but there is no point because you cannot authenticate in internal services. But there are a lot of chances that a developer has poorly configured the OAuth. Maybe they have set the scope to all the services, or maybe they are simply using the same configuration for internal authentication, and this is where you can simply try the token replay thing in internal services as well. So let's go back to our proxy. Let's copy this authorization token. Let's go to the repeater and add this header along with this. Now you see you are getting 200 OK. You just need to hit an API endpoint where you can get a Django based sensitive data. One of them is auth API users, or maybe API auth users. So let's try this. And now you are able to see that there are internal users which are being used on this particular Django portal, and you also have admin credentials, and you also have a lot of test users and valid users. So this means you are successfully migrated to internal services, and you have used the same token from the external services to the internal services, and you have successfully gained access to internal data. Now that we have seen how an attacker can replay the token across internal microservices to gain access to internal data, let's see how an organization can defend with this attack. The first point is to implement granular scopes. So here you explicitly define that which OAuth is allowed for which services to log in. It should not allow any internal services when it is exposed to publicly OAuth configurations. And the second point is to keep your OAuth configuration separate for public and internal services. So do not reuse the same configuration, same client ID and client secret for the internal services which you are using on public services. So just by taking care of these 2 points, your OAuth configuration will be robust and solid, and an attacker cannot replay this kind of attack. So thank you all for watching this video. See you in the next video.